So that was interesting. So in other news, this one was fascinating. So they're doing studies here in the U.S. and a couple other places, but they just finished one up in England on a 4-day work week.
Love that.
Let's see if it works. So what they did was they got all these companies to try the 4-day work week. They did not reduce pay at all. You still got paid what you'd normally get paid for a 5-day work week, but you just worked
So
4.
if you make $50,000 a year now,
You still make
working
50.
40 hours a week, 5 days a week, you still make 50, but you're working 4 days a week, and you have a 3-day weekend basically always.
Right. So now you went from you still making 50, but you're working 32 hours a week, 4 days from 4 days, right?
That's great.
Yeah. So the question was: does this lower productivity? Does this cause a problem? What they found was no, productivity did not go down. In a lot of cases, it went up. So let's see what the businesses thought.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not even surprised. I mean, I'm like the mindset person here, and think about it. Happier people get more done. They're a little bit more, I hate to use the word on top of it, but when you're happy, you're operating a little quicker, your mind is a little sharper, you're a little more excited, you might have a better attitude about things, right? As opposed to, feeling like you're going to be somewhere for all this time anyway, and so like, what difference does it make if this gets done today or tomorrow or whatever?
Right. But we can talk about that in a second. But let's watch, because this is I forget what this. I stole this. This was News Nation. Sorry, so they're going to talk about this real quick. But yeah,
of a 4-day work week, almost every company taking part is going to keep it. Kelsey, you got more on this. It's kind of making workers happy, isn't it?
Well, guys, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. We've got 2 more days left. Am I right?
After this.
What if
I can't even fathom.
changed?
I can't even fathom that a 4-day work week would work.
Well, here's the thing. This morning, 92% of those companies we were learning that tested the 4-day work week, that were part of that test, they say that they're keeping it.
Ooh, wow. So I stole that one from the Young Turks, but 92% of the test companies said, yeah, we'll just keep doing this. It's working. And like you said, people are more productive. They don't slack off as much because they're not as stressed
When I'm
out.
happier and when I feel like I have more ownership over more of my time,
Absolutely.
The change in my attitude is amazing. And I'm not a very negative person necessarily in general, but I definitely go from, yeah, okay, I got to get this done and that done and whatever, to being a little bit more like happy to be there, because I know that I'm going to have all this other time that I have custody of to do other things with. As it stands right now, I know a lot of people who work full time basically feel like on the weekend they get 2 days, one of which is devoted almost completely to setting themselves up to be able to work the next week,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 day remaining to try to make choices about just personally.
Well, right. Plus, you got to figure this. I was thinking about, like, when I went into business for myself, that was the main reason is I wanted to control my time. I knew I was going to make less money for quite a while, but it was, yeah, but at the same time, it's like, if I want to blow off the afternoon and go golf or whatever, not a big deal. If I need to schedule a dentist appointment, right? I mean, that was a pain in the ass when you're working Monday through Friday. You got to take a day off. You got to clear it as opposed to, hey, I have, I can just schedule it, right?
Listen, I've had bosses that have, kind of given me a hard time about what time I scheduled an appointment for.
Right.
And then you're trying as hard to get the appointment as early in the morning or as close to the end of the day as possible. Right. But everyone else and their brother's trying to get that appointment too. It's not even an option necessarily. And then you have to go in and be like, oh, I have to leave so I can, not die, so I can, do something for my health, or so my teeth won't fall out of my head.
Right.
And you've got someone kind of giving you, really, you can make it at a different time?
Well, and we'll get into this in the next in a little bit here with Dave Ramsey. They talk about what's going on with the job market, but part of that too, and circle back is if you have kids, think about what a 4-day work week is. That is a huge, huge deal if you have kids.
And a money saver if you have children that require care. Like, they can't just go from school to home. They're too young. They need to be in the daycare or something. If you can eliminate an entire day a week that they have to go there,
Yeah, well,
that's not insignificant.
in one of these studies, they were talking about they talked to a couple, and the husband his office was part of the study, and the wife's office was part of the study, and they had 2 kids, right? And so they're paying for daycare 5 days a week. But what they did was they straddled it. So she would get Mondays off and he'd get Friday off. So Monday she'd take care of the kids. Friday he would take care of the kids. So now their daycare went to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Wow.
So they shaved 16 hours plus of daycare off their cost, which saved them. Yeah.
Got more time with their children, and I would argue probably more quality time with each other because, if they straddled it that way, they could choose to do a lot of the erranding separate on the days they weren't both off, on the Monday or the Friday, and
Right.
really enjoyed their Saturday and Sunday together more.
Well, right. And that was the thing is like, okay, Dad would get the kids Friday, and then he'd just like do the laundry and take the kids out and then make dinner. So wife gets home, doesn't have to worry about any of that. Laundry's done.
Mhm.
I mean, that could take a whole, that takes up half a weekend day sometimes, especially if you got 4 people you're doing laundry for. I mean, you think about it, that's just a huge, now all of a sudden their quality of life just shot up right through the roof.
Mhm.
Plus, you got to look at it from the employer perspective too, which I always tend to do as somebody who's employed people. Is I would be thrilled by this because if I'm offered a 4-day work week and nobody else really is, what do you think my employee retention is going to be? It's going to be through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Why would you leave? You're going to leave and go
You're
work
not gonna
5 days a
spend
week?
more money. You're not going to spend more money training employees. People just really stop to consider how much it costs to hire, train, onboard new employees.
Yeah.
That is not an insignificant expense either. And so if you're retaining more of them, and let's think about it, every time you have to hire new employees, you probably have to hire them in at higher rates than what the raises would have been you would have been paying to the old employees. Not that I
Right.
agree with that necessarily, but that does happen. And not only do you have to keep retraining people, which costs money, you keep having to alter,
Right. Especially when you're competing against other employers, especially like in a job
Right.
market like this where you're having to compete for employees.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's just a phenomenal idea. I think they should have covered it better. TYT did a decent job, but that's basically what it was.